Yes.
Oh God. It looks like we killed a jackfruit in here. We slaughtered it.
Alright, so for this you're going to need a big pot or pan. I'm going to just dump all of this straight in here. It's going to be a lot of jackfruit. It's not going to keep. And we're going to fill it with barbecue sauce as well and then cook it. And if you look carefully, you can see the stuff at the bottom is starting to discolor because it's been out and exposed to the oxygen. So you got to start cooking this fast. Let's put the barbecue sauce. This is what people that we're with like. So this is what we're going to use. It all depends on the sauce, and just put straight sauce in here. I got 4 bottles to dump in. So 2 bottles in, and I'm probably going to need at least a 3rd bottle. I don't know about the 4th bottle. And this is all got to be broken up too. These pieces are way too big. Maybe we should have done that before we stuck it in. But I think when it heats up and cooks, it breaks apart very easily. But time will tell. I've only ever done it with the can never before, so this is kind of new. And yeah, I think I'm going to put another bottle of sauce in. Yeah. Alright, so we end up using 3 40-ounce bottles. I'm not going to put any more, actually. There's no more room in here for any more barbecue sauce. And
that looks pretty cool.
We've got to heat this up. It's got to start bubbling, and then I've got to break it all up into pieces. Otherwise, it's not. This is not right. This is not the. These are way too big. I can hear it right now, actually warming up. That's
wow.
Good.
Real bolts, but that's all they say.
Alright, just a hint, it's 290 milligrams times 31 servings times 3. You gotta watch the sodium on this kind of stuff, and we didn't. But it's already gonna have a ton of sodium just from this, so at least we didn't use the canned barbecue, the canned jackfruit anyway. Alright, so I just did the math. There's almost 27,000 milligrams of sodium in this bowl because I have 3 bottles. That's ridiculous. So you should really try to find some of this stuff without any sodium in it. That is unbelievably high. So at 1,500 milligrams a day,
nope.
just this meal here in this pot has enough sodium for the maximum for 18 people. 18. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. 27,000. Alright, here are all the seeds from 1 jackfruit.
It's a lot.
Yep. And they're going in the oven at 400 degrees?
Yep, for 20 minutes.
Yep, they're ready already, so here you go. I'm not.
And we
good with hot
probably
stuff.
should have pulled this apart before we stuck it in, the jackfruit fruit, but we didn't. Alright, those are going to cook. Alright, I've been using non-stick, so I can't use a knife or anything, metal fork to cut up. I've got this, and I'm just really waiting this up to heat up, and I'm going like this to try to break it apart. Hopefully it'll work. I think these things get a lot easier to break apart when they get hot, and right now you can see it's starting to get hot, so I'm hoping they're going to get smaller. It looks like the pieces are starting to get smaller. Hard to tell when it's a slow process, and you got to stir it around, move the big pieces to the center, kind of keep breaking them up, Alright, this is starting to break up. It's taking a long time. We've already been cooking for, oh, my battery's almost gone, a half hour, and it's nowhere near done. But here are the seeds. They're done. How long are they? A half hour in here?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
I
Okay.
didn't want them too roasted. Do they look roasted enough?
Some of them are roasted, not all of them. Looks like a lot of them don't have much color. You sure
They're not
they're
supposed to have color.
okay?
I don't know. It said 20 minutes. Why don't the silicone gloves melt? Why not?
They do. I think that they do.
But they didn't.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
they
any of
don't.
that plastic stuff's gonna melt.
No, because this is not real plastic.
You can turn the oven off.
It's fake plastic. They purposely made it for this.
I'm ready for dinner now.
But this isn't anywhere close to done.
It's what?
You can have the appetizer of seeds, I guess. They're probably full of fat, those seeds. I'm guessing you have to look up the nutritional information. Jackfruit seeds.
Once you crack the shell off, They're similar to a potato inside, but you can make hummus out of these.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they're soft inside now?
Yeah.
It's getting there. Definitely smaller pieces. Gotta keep working at it as it heats up. It does break apart fairly easily now that it's heated up. I thought that wasn't going to happen, but it is. I'm also continually turning the heat down as this stuff cooks longer. It doesn't need as much heat to keep it going. Otherwise it'll pop and boil over, and we don't want that. Alright, we've got the jackfruit back here. It's been a few days and it's getting soft already. Unfortunately, we may have waited too long on this. I don't know. Or maybe it's just right, because you know how like a lot of times bananas with little brown spots are just right? We'll see. It's probably going to be really sweet, and we're going to try a new technique for cutting it. I've looked online, and what I've found is that there's two ways to do it. One is you take a slice and go all the way across, and you cut it straight open like you're cutting into any kind of fruit or vegetable that you would want to cut straight in half and get the insides out. But the problem is that what's inside of the jackfruit is seed pods all over the place, and each seed pod is held in place by some kind of fiber that's attached to the outside of the jackfruit. So if you slice it in half and you try to pull the seed pods out from the middle, then you're going to have to remove them from this web of entanglement that's holding it into the rest of the fruit, which is a big time-consuming process. So that's also easy to cut it, but this way it's going to be harder. What we're going to do is we're going to circle around the top and cut the top part off. Then I'm going to circle in a pattern that's going to loop it at an angle so that I can kind of peel away the outside. And when I peel away the outside, hopefully it'll take away all those little fiber parts and leave mostly all the seed pods intact. Sometimes some of the seed pods come out, but either way they'll be removed from the actual fiber part of the fruit that's not to be eaten normally. And then all we'll have to do is we'll have to take each seed out of the pod and then put the pods in a bowl and then basically use that for our whatever we're going to use jackfruit for. In our case, we're going to make jackfruit barbecue out of it. So let's get started.
Chef Mike is going to cut the jackfruit
It's
top
very
off.
soft. You don't want to go in too deep, but this is very soft. This is a really ripe jackfruit, and I think we probably do want it this ripe, actually. I think most people would. We saw some in the store that were really yellow, solid yellow. I have a feeling those weren't ready. Unless this thing happens to be rotten on the inside, then we're in big trouble.
Are you sure you don't want to leave the top there for something to hold on to while you spin it in circles? Hold on to the stem.
Well, this is how you're supposed to do it in what I saw online.
Okay.
You're supposed to cut away this first. Then, I'm not going to pull it out yet. Then you start basically cutting into the line that you made up top and then kind of going out at an angle. Not too deep. I hear the train coming back in. Not too deep, and then you get wider and wider as you go. You just kind of turn it and just keep going. Now, I've never done this before, keep this in mind. I have no idea how this is going to turn out.
Please don't cut yourself.
Well, I'm more concerned that this is going to be a complete disaster. We'll see. And there's definitely some soft spots on this one, like we were saying. I don't think those soft spots were there when we bought it.
No.
But when we brought it home, it kind of got damaged in the car with all the other groceries. Yeah. Kind of like bananas. I think it might be something like that. Once it starts to get ripe, like bananas, you can really ruin them by not being careful with the way you handle them. All right, here's the other cut. So I'm going to kind of make the same width all around, but at an angle. And just keep going. Keep going. I can feel it starting to peel away already. But just keep going with this. Make sure you're deep, but not too deep. And if you're too deep, it's not going to matter because you're going to have to tear these seed pods apart anyway. We got to get some kind of a bowl once I get this done so we can put it straight into a bowl. Keep going at an angle.
And you didn't even put coconut oil on your hands.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw all these people online put it. Oil is bad. Never use oil. Avoid oil. I don't even know if this knife is clean. I sure hope it is. I never assume anything's clean, especially in this house where we happen to be, and we're at an unnamed, undisclosed location. I can smell this. This smells really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's really soft. Oh my gosh.
Soft spot. I don't smell anything. Of course, my nose was running because we were outside walking in the 50-degree weather.
And we're also breathing in cat litter from the cat litter box. My theory also on allergic to cats is that maybe people aren't really allergic to cats at all. It's the damn poop and pee that they don't clean the litter box out enough.
You're rambling.
Yeah. What does that have to do with jackfruit? I have no idea. Except that I'm cutting a jackfruit next to a cat litter box.
The cat litter box is over there. It's got a hood on it. I was going to move the Lazy Susan with the napkins on it, but I decided to just let that lay there. No sense in fighting with my family about it. These are kids' stickers on the table here. I couldn't get this off. Stickers, or somebody was doing their gel nails here, gel nail polish with sparkles in it. It wouldn't come off the table.
Alright, I'm starting to see a little bit of water coming out of this. This is reaching the end.
I brought you a cutting board.
Okay, now take the jackfruit over here, and oh, this is really soft. Oh my gosh, this may be overripe.
It's like carving a pumpkin.
No, it's soft. It may be too soft.
It may be rotten.
Alright, now here's these fibers. You can see them.
Neat.
That is the stuff you'll be fighting with. If you cut it from the inside, you'll be fighting with all these fibers, trying to get the fruit out. Alright, now this, we got it from here. Let's start pulling it. We started right here. Well, maybe we're okay.
Yeah. I bet when you approach those rotten spots, it's not gonna rip off.
Oh man, I feel like I tore into the fruit there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I cut too deep.
Yeah, the skin's not coming off.
Well, this is the top.
Okay.
See, it's still. Is it attached to the stem?
I don't know. I feel like you're doing surgery now. Jackfruit surgery.
Yeah, you can see how tough these are.
Yeah. This
is what I was trying to avoid. Stuff we saw online. See, this is not any fruit. This is just the fiber parts that you don't want.
That's tough. No wonder jackfruit in the can is so expensive. Somebody has to do all this work.
But as we saw, as you watched earlier in this video, it's incredibly high in sodium, and you can't get the sodium out, so you don't want to get canned jackfruit. I would never recommend that to anyone anymore, now that I know how much sodium's in there. Oh my gosh. Well, you can see the pods very clearly.
Oh, that's the part you eat. Those little yellow things.
The pods.
That's the only part that's edible?
Yes.
That's a lot of work for just a few pods.
Well, at least they don't look rotten.
You've got your finger really close to one, so be careful not to damage it.
Well, it's okay. We have to tear it apart anyway to get the seed out.
I mean the pod.
Oops, yeah, I just damaged that one, but you can see that's part of the fruit right there.
Yeah, cool.
But I opened that one by accident. See, these are all connected. I'm trying to cut this.
Is this going to be
I think this is the hard part.
Dumb and Dumber videos where we struggle?
Yeah, it looks like Dumb and Dumber. That's what we had comments on our videos.
This doesn't look as easy as some of those other 5
Everyone wants us to have this down and be experts at it in order to be able to make videos. Otherwise, they make fun of you.
Well, yeah, if you don't do it right, this is what you could struggle with.
You're doing it wrong.
The video we watched last night was only 5 minutes, and we're already on 6:30.
Well, the videos we watched also didn't really say much. We weren't talking much when they were doing it.
The last one we saw.
That's probably because they were cussing in the background.
That spiral cut jackfruit that don't have any audio.
Yeah, because they're like all the screaming and cussing. You wouldn't want to hear it. Yeah, I don't see. This is going to be difficult.
All right, I'm going to pause and we'll pick up after Mike figures this out.
Cutting this, are we rolling?
Now we're rolling.
I'm recutting this deeper because I think that I just didn't cut it deep enough. And I'm wearing a jacket while cutting a jackfruit. You have to, that's required.
This is a seed, right? Not a pod.
Right. I just feel like it's not, this thing isn't peeling like I've seen online, so maybe I just didn't cut it deep enough. That's what I'm thinking, that's why I'm cutting it deeper. Alright, I just pulled one of these out. I'm going to do these one at a time, and that's what it looks like. And when you break it open, you got the seed pod right here. And try not to cut yourself with a knife. Take the seed out, and this is the fruit. This is the fruit right here.
I was going to put the fruit in a bowl, not with the seeds.
Yes, that's the seed. That's not the fruit.
Oh, okay.
So this is the fruit part, and you got to keep all those, and we're going to cook all those for jackfruit barbecue.
Okay. How's it going, Mike?
Well, we're having to cut this whole thing apart with a knife. I thought we could peel it apart, but we can't. You can see there's like a center stem. I have to cut away at the bottom where the seed pods are attached, and a lot of times I need to cut between the outside and here too, and trim it down.
But it's looking good. We got a lot of fruit here and a lot of these jackfruit seeds to roast, and we've recruited the help of my 9-year-old granddaughter to help pull the fruit apart. Okay, we're approaching the end of the useful life of this jackfruit.
And we have almost no daylight left.
The seeds
We've been here all day.
The seeds are getting smaller. That's how I knew we were almost done cutting. We got a big bowl of fruit there and a whole bunch of seeds that we can toast. Okay, all the jackfruit is cut up. What do you think, Mike?
That's the inside. That's if we cut it down the middle, we would have seen this. We would have to go through it. So I don't know what was easier to do it the way we did or this way, because either way you got something to go through. The outside skin was thinner.
Is it hard like a bone?
Yeah. I had to cut it with the knife. The outside skin, for the most part, I could pull away. But I still had to cut a lot of the ones on the outside.
I made a big mess.
Are your hands all sticky with jackfruit? Yeah.
Definitely.
And we spent about an hour, 3 of us, working on this. It's almost 3 hours of work.
Yeah.
It's a huge bowl.
That is a lot of fruit.
And we're going to fill it with barbecue sauce and break it up with a fork. And then we have all those seeds, which you don't get in the can.
Yeah.
You don't get those in the can.
Kind of roast those seeds.
And how about our hands?
Yeah.
Our hands are all sticky.
Sticky and disgusting.
Absolutely
I had to rinse mine. All right, next step is cooking. What a mess.
Oh, God.
It looks like we killed the jackfruit in here. We slaughtered it.
Alright, I've mostly finished with this. It's all broken up, as you can see, but I probably should have baked it. I guess the stuff in the cans is cooked. I've never done this before. It's more fruity and a little softer than you would think. So I think baking it first before we stuck it in here would have solved that problem. And these seeds are pretty good. Alright, or you can saute it, but I didn't saute it. I just stuck it all in the barbecue sauce. So either way, I think you need to toughen it up, brown it up a little bit. And I didn't do that, so this is just a little bit more green, I guess. That's what it's going to end up being.
I noticed it's not.
Alright, so I'm going to stick this cover on for about a half hour, and then we'll try with that and see if that maybe solves the problem and toughens it up a little bit. These turned out really good, and it turns out they don't have any fat either. A little bit dry, but they're really good. I would have thought seeds had a lot of fat, but these don't have almost none, I think.
What a mess. Oh, God. It looks like we killed the jackfruit in here. We slaughtered it.
Alright, here are all the seeds from one jackfruit.
It's a lot.
Yep. And they're going in the oven at 400 degrees?
Yep, for 20 minutes.
Yep, they're ready already, so here you go. I'm not
And we
good with hot
probably
stuff.
should have pulled this apart before we stuck it in, the jackfruit fruit, but we didn't. Alright, those are going to cook. These turned out really good, and it turns out they don't have any fat either. A little bit dry, but they're really good. I would have thought seeds had a lot of fat, but these don't have almost none, I think. Okay, I think we're done, and I wasn't watching this carefully enough. I had it a little too high. I did get some burn on the bottom of the pan, so you can see this black areas. I had to kind of kind of get these out of here, discover them and pull them out, these little black areas, so that we don't eat them, because I wasn't careful enough. But there aren't too many of them. You can see, look at the consistency now. Hopefully it's going to be cooked now. And there's another one. See right there? A black area. I'm going to have to spoon that out. Alright, here it is, and you can't get the sauce out now, it's gelled in there, and yeah, we don't think we can put the top on. So it's gonna, yeah, be like a toast, a barbecue toast. Denise is gonna try this and let us know what she thinks. Alright, here we go, let's see what she says. Let's see what she does. It's her barbecue toast. You hear the train. Jackfruit barbecue toast. I probably just used too much sauce. If I used less sauce, it wouldn't have been like that.
That's good. It's stringy, like pulled pork.
It is it?
Mm-hmm.
So I should serve toast like this to everyone?
It's good, yeah.
Okay. Okay, final verdict. This is way too sweet, too much sauce. I can't get it out, and it's not tough like meat. It just wasn't cooked. I gotta cook it in the. I gotta bake it in the oven if you're doing it raw like this before you stick it into the pan. That's my advice if you're doing this. Another thing is I have used KC Masterpiece barbecue sauce in the past, and that has a different consistency. So it may have been that played part in this as well, because the sauce it uses makes all the difference. And but I do like these. I do like the seeds. Right, so I'm gonna eat more seeds.